Welcome to the Professionalist Real Estate Investing Podcast with your host, Tony Jacobs. This podcast is not just about making money. It's about creating a legacy that stands the test of time. From analyzing market trends to mastering negotiation skills, we will leave no stone unturned as we guide you through different stages of real estate investing. We will bring on industry leaders and share stories from the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. So now, it's time to level up your real estate game. And there's no better way to do it than right here with us at the Professionalist Real Estate Investing Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to the Professionalist Real Estate Investing Podcast. I'm with Mr. Property Relief himself, Mr. Marcus Harvey. How you doing today, Marcus?
What's happening, Tony? Just another day, a beautiful Saturday.
Oh, yes. Sunny, no clouds, birds chirping. It's a great day today.
Indeed.
Yeah, so today's subjects, AKA titles, today is rentals versus flips versus syndications. Which strategy is right for you?
Right.
So out these three, there's three ways to go about it with rentals, syndication, and flips.
Mm.
So the question would be, each strategy has its own pros and pitfalls and purpose. So today we're going to break it down on all three of these. Which one is going to be good for your goals, your time, and your risk tolerance?
Yep.
So we're going to start by the rentals. So rentals is, buy and hold real estate. You own the property, you rent it out, and you collect monthly cash flow while building long-term equity.
Yeah.
So with this is when you come to rentals, it's a longevity game right there. That's the reason why you have rentals, because what that rental is going to do is going to pay your mortgage, and then you get that passive income depending on how much passive income you want.
Yeah. With the buy and hold real estate, that's always, the long game for an investor. You want to be able to bring in steady cash flow from rentals. Some people think they're a headache to deal with, but it's always been a tried and true strategy to do as far as long game in real estate. So, yeah, buy and hold real estate for rentals is a good strategy.
Yeah, and it's not dealing with just one home. It could be a duplex, triplex, fourplex.
Yeah. Apartment building.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Number two, flips. That's the buy low, renovate fast, and sell high. This is the cash flow. This is the cash cow game right here.
Yeah.
But it's riskier and more hands-on.
Yeah.
You know a little bit about the flips. What would you say for people out there when it comes to the flips, like what hurdles you might have to cross with the flips?
Yeah, so flips are just, a little bit different when it comes to doing flips, because you just are going into the unknown on trying to figure out how to renovate and redo a house and, remodel a house. The flips, it's a gamble, because you're really gambling, on trying to make the property look better, and you're trying to get a good resale value out of it. Dealing with contractors and dealing with time issues on flips, that can be a headache sometimes. But if you have the right, systems in place and processes in place, then flips, depending on what you got going on, it could be a really good strategy to really make some good money.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was thinking too, when you were saying that, also, we know somebody who deals with helping out with buying basically, like, it comes out even like foreclosure homes and everything.
Yeah.
And then they know from that part, like, hey, we're going to have basically what they're doing is they're flipping it.
Right.
Whatever needs help work, but they do go by the numbers and like, it's going to be worthwhile for us to make this happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Shout out to Ed.
Oh, Mr. Ed. That's my guy. He's when I call him my mentor, but he's taught me a lot since I've been in real estate for over 5+ years. So,
oh yeah,
Ed's that guy.
Oh yeah, and he's one of those guys that does that. He turns and burns properties, as they say, or he flips properties and stuff. So
yeah, because he works with those investors, and they go by when real estate investing, all the Grant Cardone said, it's about the numbers. Does the numbers make sense?
Yep. Exactly. They have to make sense, because how you going to know what the profit is? How you going to know, what you're making, what your return on investment is? The numbers are a big part of it. Like, you might love the strategy of fixing and flipping and maybe fixing up stuff and maybe doing a little bit of construction, but at the end of the day, the numbers have to match, so you can make a profit. It's a business,
Yes. And that's the understanding of the strategy on flips. Number 3 is the syndication. This is a group of investing, typically a large multifamily or commercial deals. It's a pool of money that you all put together with other investors and a sponsor.
Yeah.
And that's how you go about doing the syndication. I love syndication. That's where I eventually want to go at, is the syndication, because basically with the syndication, it's like I said, you have a whole bunch of investors. You put your money together to buy the large multifamily and commercial property.
Mm-hmm.
The best for multifamily, because multifamily is going to be that one. Commercial, a lot of stuff has changed in the commercial side, especially COVID, like everything. There's still people working home based.
Yeah.
There's a lot of companies, they're frowning on, they're like, you know what, you need to come back to work. But there's still those companies out there that want people to work from home. Mm-hmm. And that's leaving a whole lot of business offices. I think we talked about this before. Like, what do you think is going to happen with a lot of those businesses that are just uninhabited?
So those commercial properties that the loans are coming due on?
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy market. That's going to be a crazy game right there, because I see a lot of investors cashing in on those, trying to buy a lot of those properties, and then maybe even trying to convert some of those commercial, if they can, depending on zoning, convert some of those commercial buildings into some kind of residential living. You know what I mean? Try to convert office spaces into residential living or apartments or something like that. But even that's expensive too. Trying to convert from industrial or commercial into residential, that could be really expensive. So
yeah, I was thinking the same thing too. I was like, with these commercials, especially the offices.
Yeah.
If somebody, probably somebody's right now trying to work on a blueprint on how to change those office spaces into residential spaces.
Yeah.
I know they were working that down in LA.
Yeah.
With
big time in LA, trying to make more affordable housing.
Yes. I know they're working on that really hard, but if it does work, which if somebody gets a blueprint and it makes it happen,
mm-hmm.
like they're setting themselves up for success right there, because a lot of people are going to go by that blueprint and be like, yo, how did you go about doing that? Because there's a lot of buildings that are uninhabited, occupied.
Yeah, there's a lot of commercial stuff, let alone residential, but there's a lot of commercial stuff that's just, man, it's going to be a frenzy out here pretty soon with that commercial stuff.
Exactly.
A frenzy.
Mm-hmm. The next one, which makes the most money, and we're going to talk about these again, the flips. You can make faster profit, sometimes, between 30, 50K, even six figures.
Yep.
But it depends on the timing and, and execution.
Yep.
So it's always going to be, especially with the flips, how much profit are you going to make off of it?
Right.
And I know some people, they navigate into flipping, like they started in real estate in flipping, and then the collateral that they did get off that profit, they advance it into something else bigger. Mm-hmm. So basically, they eventually just graduate to different levels.
Yeah. And then on that note too, with the flips, you can make 30, 50,000, six figures, just depending on what price point you're flipping at. But like they always say, you got to make your money on the buy. When you're buying these properties, you got to factor in all cost in the buying process. You can't leave it up to fate or just be winging it with these numbers.
We know about that, winging it.
Yeah, you can't be winging it on these numbers, which you about to bring up, old boy.
That's all I can think of.
Right. But anyway, though, so yeah, you can't just wing it on these numbers, especially on fix and flips, because stuff that you didn't know was going to pops up on you. You start tearing into walls, stuff starts popping up on you. So you just got to be ready for that. You can't take these numbers lightly. You have to really be precise when you're fixing and flipping,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The next one, rentals. This is bring steady income and tax benefits.
Yep.
When you scale it, you can replace your 9 to 5 entirely. I do know this because I knew a person had a rental a long time ago, and they had 45 rentals. So they didn't have to work a 9 to 5. All their rentals and all the income they were getting off of that that steady income
just supported their lifestyle.
Yes,
that's awesome.
Yes,
that's awesome. And that's the point where you really want to be at, because even though like inflation always makes things more expensive, hey, just grab another rental.
Yeah.
Bills go up and just grab another rental, so you could get more cash flow coming in. And that's just really how you solve the problem, instead of letting, Social Security try to feed you, or any kind of other investment you may have going on. Real estate is it's good like that, where you can just, hey, inflation's killing us, bills are rising, we need a couple more rentals to keep our lifestyle going, or,
yes,
something else that has to happen.
Well, it's like Warren Buffett says, it's like, if you have only one income, you're one income away from being poor.
Yeah, just homeless.
Poor homeless.
Yeah, and just, paycheck to paycheck living. Everyone's, I'm sure, done it at one point or another, unless you were just born into a rich family or something and had it passed to you. But for the most part, like, you just have to just keep going, and just keep, if you're going to do rentals, and you're going to have rentals as your like main income, maybe after retirement, and you see like inflation and the economy getting bad, and, things getting tighter, then it's always good to pick up another rental to be able to get some more cash flow. That way you don't have to go back to work.
Right. That's the goal, that financial independence.
Exactly.
All right. The next one, syndication. So syndication, it offers passive income with a bigger upgrade, especially when you're investing in multi-million-dollar apartment buildings. You typically earn returns with via cash flow and equity splits without being a landlord. So it comes down to, we'll get further into it, especially with, when dealing with syndications or real estate itself, it breaks it down to 2 levels. Do you want to be a active investor or a passive investor?
Yes, exactly.
That's what it comes down to.
Yep.
Because both of them you're going to reap the benefits for. It's just what type of benefits you're going to benefit from both of them.
You could do both. You could do one. You could do the other. It's just the type of person you are. Especially like with what I was going to say real quick. I was going to touch on just like property management. Some owners like to be involved all the way, or they would like to manage it themselves. And then they like to hire a management company just to do some things while they take care of other things.
Yes, they delegate it.
They delegate it. And then some people just like, hey, I don't want to do anything but just collect my money, so you handle everything. They hire a property management just to do every single thing, and that's it,
Yes. And then here's the real question, like we were just talking about. Do you want to make quick cash, steady income, or long-term wealth?
So, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to do it because it was the time commitment and involvement, because time is everything.
Yep.
And then it's like I said, when it comes to real estate investing, it's all always about time. Like I said, do you want to make that quick cash? What do you want? What is your objective?
Right.
So like flipping is a full-time job. You're managing contractors, timelines, permits, and surprises.
Right.
And then you got rentals. That can be semi-passive, especially with a property manager, as you were speaking about.
Yes, sir.
And then syndication, it's the most passive. You write the check and the sponsor does the work. That sounds amazing. I think that's the reason why I like syndication.
Yeah, because it's just so, you're just so hands off. You just have to write the check for him, and whoever is in control of the deal. Shout out Grant Cardone, syndication.
Oh, yes.
He's like one of them kings that does it. There's other guys I'm sure that do it out there, but just GC
does it.
He comes to mind because he's always syndicating deals and stuff like that.
Yes, it is. So it says if you have a 9 to 5 or raising a family, You might want to swing a hammer or deal with midnight plumbing calls. So syndication or long-term rentals might be a faster, better fit for you.
Yep. Yep.
Now, the risk to watch out for, flipping. And like you were saying, holding costs, market shifts, the rehab budgets, the underestimated rehab budgets.
That's like the number one. You either overestimate or you underestimate your rehab. And when you underestimate your rehab, oh man, that's why them numbers gotta be important, you know?
Yes.
Got to do it right.
At rentals, tenant issue, vacancies, unexpected maintenance.
Yeah. Yeah. With rentals. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a person can have rentals and they'll be, on vacation in Dubai. And they get a phone call talking about, the plumbing, the toilet's not flushing.
Right.
There's something clogged up in the lines. What do you do?
Yeah. You got to make that call from Dubai and say, Roto-Rooter.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Hey, I'm gonna pay for this hefty fee,
right.
But yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then syndication, it says, once you're in, you can't pull your money out easily,
right.
And you can't. That's that longevity right there. Because with syndication, and this is what I do know about syndication. Like they have a portfolio of everything that's going on. You will know everything that's going on with your money. It's like I said, it's an investor pool. But the thing about it is they have an exit plan.
Right.
For how many years? It's going to be 3 years, usually 3 to 5 years,
yep.
depending on what they do. Because there's always a goal that they have in mind, especially when it comes to the funding, how much is going to be broken down for everybody to get their passive income.
Yep. Yep. All that's got to be accounted for. How much dividends are going to be dispersed in the project. With the syndication deal, they're gonna. It's just it's so much. So many terms in the deal and so many rules you have to follow. Because like you say, you can't just put your money in it and think, oh, I'm just gonna. I think. I'm
having a bad time period right here.
Yeah,
I need that money back.
No, you can't just get it out like that. So if you're going to do syndication, you might want to think about that. Like you can't just easily pull your money out. You change your mind. You have an emergency. That money has to be in that deal, stay in that deal according to contract.
Yes. And then the bottom line, every strategy comes with risk. The key is knowing how to manage that risk and make decisions based on data, not emotion. Do not let your emotions be a part of it, especially with real estate. Anything real estate, do not put your emotions into it because that could be the downfall right there.
Right. If you're buying your, I guess, family house, personal house, you're going to feel
your
emotion.
Forever home.
Your forever home. You're going to be happy. You're going to want what you want. You're going to feel a certain type of way. But with investing, never put your emotions in. It's all about the business. It's all about the profit and, helping people along the way, of course, helping people along the way as much as you can. But at the end of the day, it's a business and you got to treat it like that.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Let's make it happen together. Are you ready to find your dream home, sell your property for top dollar, or take your first step into real estate investing? Tony Jacobs, a dedicated real estate professional with eXp Realty in Northern California, specializes in helping individuals and families achieve their real estate goals. Whether you're searching for the perfect property, selling your home quickly and efficiently, or building wealth through strategic real estate investments, he is here to guide you every step of the way. With his expertise, market insights, and a tailored approach, he ensures you get the results you deserve. Call today at 530-646-7293 or email me at tjacobsrealestateforyou@gmail.com to schedule your free consultation. Your partner in real estate success, Tony Jacobs. eXp Realty of Northern California Incorporated. DRE number 02110892.
And then next, which one is right for you? Because this is what comes down. This comes down to you as an individual. Ask yourself, how much capital do I have?
Yeah.
Do I want to be an active or passive investor?
Right.
And that's dealing with your income, at the income of it.
Yeah.
And then do I want control or do I want freedom? You want the freedom to just put your capital in it and then make it work for you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely that's a personal question that everyone needs to ask themselves as to which one is going to be best for them. How they can go about, there's so many ways to get the capital to go about it, but it's what's going to be best for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you start what matches your lifestyle. It says,
I agree.
if you just getting started, maybe house, maybe house hacking or a small rental.
Yep.
If you're capital rich, put that time into, syndication could be the spot for you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're ready to get your hands dirty and everything and learn fast, try to flip, you can try to flip homes.
Right.
But then if you want to make sure, just don't do this by yourself.
Yep, definitely don't. You're gonna need some people, some team.
You definitely need a team. There is so many different ways and avenues right now to get a hold of people who are, you got the bigger pockets. There's even some investor? What's the one that you go on to? The Investor Lift?
Oh yeah, Investor Lift. Shout out to Investor Lift. There's all kind of properties on there. They've got videos you can learn. They'll teach you certain strategies and stuff like that. They're big on wholesaling. You know what I mean? Investor Lift is big on wholesaling, but you can find some fix and flip deals, while wholesaling on Investor Lift.
Yes. And then he says, the final thoughts of coming with all this together about this. Real estate isn't one size fits all. And this is basically the best investors, that I've known, like they know that through time that they're going to reap the benefits of it. The cash flow, the tax benefits, they know exactly what they're in it for. Yeah. So you have to ask yourself about what's getting the capital, which one is going to be good at, is the rentals, the flips, or the syndication, what's going to be best for you and fit your lifestyle the best way it can possible for you.
Yep, exactly.
He says, so basically don't wait for the best strategy. Start where you are, learn, adjust, and grow into an investor that you're meant to be. And it starts with you. When it comes down to it, it starts with you. Your mind, definitely number one, your mind shift, your mind state.
Yes. Mindset is important. You got to have the right mindset in this business. If you want to get in and really take it really serious, you have to have the right mindset. You got to be disciplined. You got to be knowing what the game is about. You got to learn the game, learn the numbers. Like when I first started, I just wanted to perfect wholesaling and get the strategy down on, okay, how was the wholesaling process works. And then I just started just looking at different other strategies. Now I'm looking at new construction because, I want to know how that process works and how development works. So yeah, and I think there's so many strategies in real estate. Sometimes it's hard to pick because depending on where you're at, personally, like you say, if you already got money, you might want to just jump into syndication and be a passive investor. But if you're really trying to get in and get some money and you're trying to get started and trying to invest, and people going to want to wholesale first, or like you said, house hack, to get some income coming in. So yeah, it just depends on lifestyle and what you're interested in. And, what makes the most money too is important, because what you can do in one strategy and make a certain amount of money, you go to a different strategy and it makes way more money.
Exactly. Yeah. And that was one of the reasons why I started the Professionalist Real Estate Investing podcast. It's in the real estate investing sector, but there's so many different parts of it. So I'm trying to open people's minds up to different avenues, different directions that can help them as to choosing what's going to be best and beneficial in their lifestyle as to which to decide for real estate investing.
Yeah.
Because there is some podcasts out there, not knocking on any podcast that deals with the just syndication or multifamily and everything. I listen to all of that. I do. I've benefited so much to listen to all of it. Information is power. So shout out to all the real estate investing podcasts.
I check out everybody, just everybody. Just shout out to everybody. I could sit here and name drop all day, but just shout out to everybody that's in real estate investing, that's doing podcasts about it, that's sharing information, that's keeping up to date on new laws, and just everything.
Yeah, I do. Exactly. And then we're done with that side right there of the, the three right there, the rentals, the flip, and the syndication.
Mm-hmm.
This part I want to just go to a little bit as to, especially with our economy, the new administration, and what I've been seeing right now is there is a lot of, and you know this because we talk about it every day, there is a lot of pre-foreclosures going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of expired listings going on.
Mm-hmm.
So now, it is prime time for people to get in real estate investing because there is so much that is going on with the administration.
Mm-hmm.
I know that one of the main things that they're going to say that that's going to come about is they're going to have the 100% bonus appreciation.
Yeah, they're supposed to be coming soon.
Yeah, so we're I know a lot are waiting on that. A lot of the investors are waiting on that with the bonus depreciation.
Yeah.
Another thing too, like with the pre-foreclosures. That's prime time for a person if they want to get into to a deal. It's a prime time because me and you, we've seen. Yeah, you showed me somewhere the times are hard out here. We ain't really gonna lie about it. It is hard.
It's really hard.
You told me the one where the person had their mortgage was under $400 a month.
Yeah, I told you that the other day. Yeah,
but they couldn't afford it. You know what? Everybody's life is completely different and they weren't able to, but now it's in pre-foreclosure. If you want to get in real estate investing, they said this. They said basically with the administration with the administration that is in now, this is the best time to get in real estate investing.
Yeah. If you don't get in the next 4 years while Trump's, he's a real estate guy. If you don't get in right now, it's going to be hard because, it won't be hard, but he'll make it a lot easier in these next 4 years for business people, real estate developers, anybody that's involved with real estate. He's going to tailor to, the laws and the rules for those guys to make it easier for building, for anything, development, for just real estate in general. So I'd advise anybody to try to get in, at least in these next 4 years, if you're trying to get rich, if you're trying to get wealthy, if you're trying to build generational wealth through real estate. I definitely try to do it right now. And even if you're not interested in real estate per se, just, get some properties, get some, try to get in some kind of way,
Yeah. I've never, ever heard of anyone that said, you know what, real estate investing is horrible to get into. You'll never, ever hear that. Never.
You'll hear that there's up and down markets, up and down cycles. There's different cycles. Real estate's bad right now for retail, or real estate's not good right now for this reason. But investment wise, depending on what strategy you're using, real estate is always good. It's always going to be good. You can't go wrong with it. So
yeah, I tell people, I was like, some people ask me, they're like, is this a bad time to get in real estate investing? I'm like, no, there's people buying all the time. As long as the numbers are good and numbers are right for you.
Right.
It's always a great time.
Yeah. It's always a good time to invest. You just gotta, like they say, everything's negotiable, right?
Yeah. Everything's negotiable.
Everything's negotiable. So you just gotta negotiate your number, and just make sure that, you're buying right, because you make your money on the buy. That's the rule.
Yes. All right. That's another episode of the Professionals Real Estate Investing Podcast, talking about the 3 strategies of flipping, rentals, and syndication.
Yeah.
So on that note, just everybody have a blessed day. Thank you, Mr. Marcus Harvey, Property Relief.
Property Relief. Hit me up if you got a house that needs to be relieved in any kind of way, any situation. Buy as is. We close quick. 530-366-2116.
All right. And on that note, everybody have a blessed day. Peace.
In the fast-paced world of real estate, success hinges on information. Introducing PropStream, your all-in-one real estate solution. Find properties, analyze markets, and generate leads effortlessly. With PropStream, you're always one step ahead. Access it anytime, anywhere, and watch your business thrive. Don't miss out on the future of real estate. Get started with PropStream today. Visit trial.propstreampro.com/Tony Jacobs for a 7-day free trial and revolutionize your real estate game. PropStream, your key to real estate success. Don't wait. Start now.